Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of SEO Ranking Special Podcast, the SEO agency Rollercoaster. Imagine you're on a roller coaster, but instead of crazy loops and gravity-defying drops, we're diving deep into the dynamic world of SEO agencies. Here we're taking a closer look at the life of SEO agencies and pros, shedding some light on the everyday challenges, unfortunate bumps, and the high fives that come with the territory. You have to be this tall to ride this mix of straight talk, a sprinkle of laughs, and tons of behind-the-scenes knowledge. So if you're all about staying up to date with SEO and agency life, hit that subscribe button. Keep yourself in the know, stay sharp, and you might even find yourself chuckling here and there. I'm Andrew Zarudny, and I'm part of the marketing team over at SEO Ranking, and I'll be guiding you on this wild ride along with my co-host, Chris Simmons, the brains behind the OMG Center, your go-to for digital agency growth hacks. Hey Chris, super excited to have you on board as always. Let's make sure our guest is also buckled up and hit the road.
We've got Bibi The Link Builder on us on here today. How you doing, Bibi?
Hello. Yeah, that's so subtle. I like it.
Welcome to the show. You and I have known each other for a good while now. I think last time I saw you, in fact, was it in SEO on the beach recently, or was that last year? Was it that wonderful vegan sushi place that didn't have any meat?
Yes, and that's bankrupt now. They're gone.
I'm not surprised. I called it. Bibi, give us a quick 1 to 10. Who are you and what does your agency do?
What does 1 to 10 mean?
A quick summary.
Oh, a quick summary. Okay, because I thought I had to go like 1, my name is Bibi. 2, my nickname. No, so I'm Bibi The Link Builder. You could say I'm like a college dropout that Googled how to make money online. And that's how I ended up in link building.
So we're ready to get on the roller coaster. Andrew, you ready?
Yep, all buckled up.
Okay,
the inspector inspects everything. It's all
okay. We're going to get on the roller coaster then. I'm not very good on roller coasters for real. Aside from, Googling how to make money online and getting into it, how did you get into what you do now to become the link builder?
The link builder?
It says it on your name, Bibi The Link Builder.
Yeah, that's right. No, but there are a lot of great link builders out there. So I Googled how to make money online when I had a baby and I didn't want to work in an office anymore. That took a while to get the hang of that. But while I was building affiliate sites, I formed a little mastermind. Actually, Gareth Simpson was in there for like 1 minute. And the people in the mastermind, they had affiliate sites that were doing much better than mine. And they asked me to build links for them. So that's how my agency started. So
not all plain sailing in any agency or any business. I think you've been around for long enough to have seen some financial crises in the world, wars and all sorts of things going on. Have you ever considered like getting off the roller coaster and doing something other than running an agency?
Yeah, so I sort of fell into the agency. So I was never very planned or anything. And my goal has always been to have another source of income as well. But because I was so busy with the agency, I never got around to building it up. But this year, it's been such a roller coaster in the SEO industry. And though I'm still doing well, I definitely feel the need to, have some other source as well. Not just something that's hopefully a little bit more, a little bit less stressful. Let's put it that way.
It can be stressful running an agency for sure. And I know that you've got quite a distributed team across the world for the most part. I'm guessing almost every time zone. And how did things kind of expand for you? You started off, like most people, falling into it by probably starting more or less on your own, and then things snowballed and grow. How did you end up sort of getting to the size you are? Is it simply just because you took too much work on, or?
So I had clients before I knew I wanted to have a business or an agency. I've never had a problem with leads basically coming in. In the beginning, I would say yes to almost anything, and then grew really hard, in my opinion, too hard, because I'm just not, I guess I'm not built for becoming a really big mega business or something. And then we had a period where it was like last year summer, where it was like suddenly very quiet and I lost a big retainer, and then I had to quickly leads for the first time in my life. But I learned from that asking people for it, or just actually getting out there and telling people, hey, I need more work, is really great, because you build up more credit than you think, right? So that got solved. But now I'm at the point where my teams are smaller. So I went from 30 people to 20, but now I'm getting more leads again. more than the team currently can handle. So I had to hire more people. But I'm again at that moment where I think like I actually don't want to grow any bigger. So how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah,
it's the balance to keep. Before I let Andrew jump in and talk about like the present tense, what's going on right now, have you ever considered like adding other services other than link building, things like that?
So the thing is that with the link building, content ideation was always included, especially for linkable assets. So things that are easy to build links for or get passive links. So links you don't have to ask, you don't have to do outreach for. But companies were never that much interested in it. But I noticed that lately, because of all the Google updates, they are more interested in actual content ideas. So I've been playing around also with AI, because with AI, it's easier to create a content that you couldn't create before. And so I'm moving more towards the content side of things. I don't think it's necessarily a new service, but it's just more focus on that, more emphasis on that than on just the outreach-based links.
Yeah, thanks for covering the past. And I want to hit that time travel button and go a bit into the present and ask you a bit more about your team. So let's talk about the team motivation with different time zones, working in different offices.
It's not just different time zones, it's also different cultures. I come from a Dutch culture where employees, they have no scruples, criticizing their boss or the ideas of within the team. So they're very critical and open and direct. But I work with a lot of people from the Philippines, and they are way more community focused, less individual, and they don't speak up right away. So for me, it wasn't necessarily the time zone, because it's easy. You always have an overlap, in time, and a lot of communication can be asynchronous. So you don't have to be there right away. But the culture thing is way more important. One thing that I really liked, so I used to follow CRO workshops by Online Dialogue. It's a team of psychologists, and they have a lot of theories about CRO based on System 1 and System 2 thinking. But they also look at cultural differences. So, for instance, the CRO for a Chinese website is very different than for an American website. And where they look at is the Hofstede Institute. It's an institute anthropology, and they have 6 dimensions in which you can measure cultures. So it's, for instance, there's the community or individual. So you go communities at the one spectrum, individuals at the other one. And you can also have hierarchy. So some cultures are very strong in hierarchy and other cultures are less. And once you understand those dimensions, you can find a way to communicate with the culture, but also understand how they communicate with you. And I think if you outsource or work with remote workers or freelancers all over the world, it's really important to understand those cultural differences. So I can give you one example of how I've find that out. So one of the things I found out was when you're in a group call and you ask people for ideas, it's really hard with Filipino people to give their ideas. Maybe because they feel like they're afraid to say something wrong, or they don't want to put themselves on the foreground. So I found there's really a way to do it, and it's very counterintuitive. So I asked them, let's do a round of ideas. So for instance, you, Andrew, you throw somebody under the bus. And it sounds really weird, but I think it breaks the ice a little bit because it makes it funny, because it takes things to the extreme. So who do you want to victimize? But it works really well. And as soon as I say that, they throw somebody else under the bus and that person comes with a great idea.
That's cool.
Yeah. And for the motivation part, so I read this little book called The Dream Manager, and I thought it was about how to manage well, but it wasn't. It was about a cleaning company, actually parable, not a real story, a cleaning company where they appointed a manager to coach people with their dreams. So I really liked the little book. So we implemented some of that in the company, which is we ask people when they start in the coaching group to list 100 dreams, all in different categories. So you can have like health or appearance or money or travel or relationships, stuff like that. And then together we pick 3 dreams for them, and we identify the first steps to get those dreams rolling, right? And then every week we sit together for an hour, and all we do is like a stand-up call. So a person says what they've done last week with those dreams and what they're planning to do that week. And that really, I think that really helps with motivation and with company culture. And I call it bring your dreams to work. So it gives them a little bit more purpose in their job. I think proof of that was that last time, I think I hired 2 more people, and I did tell them, at the interview, look, it's really insecure right now. With SEO, we have no idea how things are going to go. So I just want to tell you that because I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the year or whatever. And then they said, yeah, no, it's fine. We're here for the company culture because we heard so many good stories about that. Yeah. So definitely invest in company culture, but it doesn't need to be blingy or anything. It's just a 1 hour a week group chat. It's fine.
Yeah, but getting those people to open up, that's the real trick.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask more about your team in terms of like, who are your core members? And if you have any freelancers that you're working on a constant basis, but they're not in-house, and maybe there's a reason why you work with some people on not a regular basis. So is there a certain approach that you have to building up your team?
They're all freelancers, but they all work full time. I have one part-timer. That's because, so the weird thing is that now I have people that offer themselves up to work for me. People that are not from the Philippines, but they'll just they'll just work for nothing, basically, just to learn, right? So I have one part-time that does that.
I also have a question about how you stay competitive. So we are happy to witness your larger than life personality today. And I'm guessing that is part of the trick. But is there anything else that you do to stay competitive in a market that is very saturated? And especially given that a lot of companies offer a much wider range of SEO services, what is your, not trick, but secret? Just how do you?
Yeah. So I don't think in terms of competitiveness or scarcity, right? And I think there's always a spot for anyone in any market, as long as you are yourself. So for me, that works. Just being my weird self. I noticed that, for instance, when I started speaking, first off, I didn't want to, but then I lied. I was like, you need to speak. So I did it. And I also wanted to travel. But I had so much problems with creating a slide deck because I thought, I need to find a good theme and I need to, be consistent and blah, blah, blah. But then I thought, no, I just got to do whatever I like. So slides that I personally would like to look at. And now
I can personally vouch for the quality of your slides.
Yes.
They meet your persona perfectly.
Yeah, and thank you. And it reminds me of when I was in high school and I used to wear stupid clothes, and then a person would say, "Yeah, it's really you." So they wouldn't say that they liked it, the outfit or something,
Yeah.
but they would say it's really you. So that just keeps going. But yeah, so people always compliment me on the slides, and I think one of the organizers of Brighton SEO said we should use your slides as an example for all the other speakers. For me, what helps is just be my weird self.
Yeah, I just wanted to get maybe an insight that will help our listeners, but this is something that is very difficult to replicate. There's no other secret to it than just being yourself.
I replicate though. You don't need to replicate it.
Yeah. I mean, just in terms of like, how do you get more visibility online and your answers being yourself? So there's no other secret that people can just take.
Well, there's maybe one thing that is easier to do is to just build a network. Like I said, when I didn't.
One of the things there, Bibi, is that you're consistently yourself, and that's the trick. I think there for anyone listening to this. It's easy to be yourself today, but it's not easy to be yourself all the time. And being comfortable with yourself is a big part of building a team, because they need to know who you are, and they need to be comfortable in how to respond to you because you're consistently yourself. Same goes from a sales point of view. So if your marketing of your business reflects what you're comfortable with, and then your sales do, and your team do, and your onboarding does, everyone's comfortable, and the leads then come in a lot more cleanly. So the real trick is to be consistent and to be you rather than a fake version of you consistently.
Yes, what he said. Totally.
I wanted to ask you more about link building. Do you see like a certain type of content helping you build links, like video? Maybe something is a trend. You see a trend that something is working a lot better. Just wanted to get your put your finger on the pulse of link building right now. Do you see an evolution of link building? What gives you best results?
Yeah, so I think the classics are still really good. When you look at local stuff, when you compare cities or in all kinds of aspects, that really helps. And something useful like a calculator or things like that, or statistics. But what I love playing around with now, but I'm not sure if it works yet because I haven't done it enough times, is making stuff with AI. So for one client, what I'm working on is with Midjourney, I create images where you take iconic figures, you compare them as you combine them as odd couples. So, for instance, I have a wedding picture of Ripley and a xenophobe. It's not stuff that happens. Yeah, but I really like an awkward wedding picture, like really, really nasty 80s awkward. I also have a picture of where I combined the movie Say Anything with Jason Voorhees. He's doing the thing where he's holding up the boombox, but he's like there's blood all over his shirt and stuff. And he's standing in front of I think it was a Cadillac Chevrolet or something, a Cadillac Malibu car. Yeah, so I would definitely play around with that, but I don't know if it works. It's just still an experiment.
Every single time I speak to you, and this may be online, this may be even on Facebook, all the way through to in events and in person, all these things. You've got a lot on all the time, and you're always doing a lot. Well, I mean, either that or you're just really disorganized. We'll find out in a second. How do you prioritize, what needs to get done? Because there's in the business stuff, that's deliverables and client stuff. Then there's the on the business stuff, which is, your finances and your marketing and your sales and all that sort of thing. There's always a lot. When it's a business where you have to be at the front of it all the time, how do you prioritize, what to do and how to do it? Yeah.
So I have a business partner, AJ, and he's really good at that kind of stuff, or I force him to do it because I'm just really bad at it. So for instance, in Slack, we all have nicknames. Nobody has their own name. So one person is called, I'm the Barbie, the siesta specialist. I'm called Agent of Chaos. So I think yes, that gives you kind of an idea. So I have my business partner, I have my sister who works for me, and I have the wife of my business partner who also works with us as team leads. Yeah, so they hold the fort. If it wasn't for them, I would be nowhere where I am now. And as far as prioritizing goes, I still have a problem with that sometimes because I tend to focus on things that come easy.
And how do you distinguish between like that good stress from having a lot on and like the bad stress, should we say, from having the wrong things on your plate? That's the sort of stuff that upsets you, upsets teams, etc. How do you manage that?
I'm very in touch with my body, I guess. So if I wake up at 2 a.m., I know there's something going on. I'm stressed about something, and just identify what I'm stressed about, and then focusing on self-care really helps me. And also, this is going to sound really, really stupid. I'm not in a war zone. What's the worst that can happen? I lose the business, and then I have to work as a waitress somewhere. Fine, right? I have a house, I have food. I come from a pretty bad childhood for the most part till I was 13. So I'm happy to be alive. Basically. And so I don't know. I'm maybe a little bit stoic in that sense as well.
That's good.
I don't know if that's an answer, actually. I don't know.
No, it is. I do think that to run any business, you need a healthy dose of stoicism because it could be worse. It could literally be worse. And there's an awful lot more going on in the world than just your business. So
yeah, it's still first world problems, right?
Yeah, stress is still stress, but it's in relative to anyone else's stress, it might be less. Moving into the future, though, I don't want to get into the conversations about AI overviews, Google leaks, and nonsense like that, because I think it is just distractions. But search continues to evolve, the industry continues to evolve. It's always going to change. Where do you see things going in the future for the agency in terms of, is it links for the win forever? Is there something that's going to happen in there? What are you seeing? What are you looking at?
Yeah, so links still matter right off this moment, right? But I don't know how it's going to be in a year. I do think people are going to search differently or use or find answers to questions in a different way. But link building, it's still a method, right? It's not how can I say this? It's not a purpose. The skills that I have, being creative or having empathy or being able to network with people or recognize what's good content and not, that's still there. I don't know if that's going to be link building or maybe creating content or I don't know, making TikTok videos. I think links it's going to be less and less and less. You got to see it in a wider context of connecting with people, with an audience and creating valuable things for them. So,
given your vision for links in the future, what is the biggest goal of BibiBuzz for this year? Do you have like the start of the year meeting where you say like, this is what we're going to do this year?
I'm a really bad planner.
No, but that's
it's a really good question.
You won't be surprised that a lot of people that we've interviewed have a similar situation. I just wanted to know your approach. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah. So, but I need a minute, right, to think about it. I think for us, the goal has always been to work with the people that we want to work with as a team, right? And then in however shape or form it's going to be, maybe we're going to go back to building sites or something, or doing something else aside from link building to earn income. As long as we're going to stick together, I think that's I don't want to lose any people. I just want us to stick together.
Oh,
yeah.
That's lovely. That's lovely. And if it doesn't work, like you say, you can be a waitress. So it's great.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ending on a quick fire round for you. These are quick fire, so just say exactly what you think. What's the best advice you've ever got?
Oh yeah, I saw this in the thing that you sent. It really stumped me. The best advice that I got is actually I don't remember advice that I've gotten. Maybe, but I have advice for myself. Can I count my best advice? Oh yeah, the small things are the big things. That's my best advice.
And then conversely, then what's the worst advice you've ever received from yourself, probably?
So it's not single advice, but a lot of people didn't believe in working, making money online or working remotely. And this is like, I don't know, 13 years ago, right? So people were like, oh, that is all just bullshit, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And now they're calling me up asking for advice.
I got laughed at when I was at school because I was selling Nokia in-car charger cradles that were drop shipped from China. And everyone was like, you can't make money selling products online. I was like, all right, okay, well, I'm going to keep doing it. Here I am today, not selling products online. What's the biggest that you've ever made?
Biggest poop I ever made? I don't know.
What's the biggest mistake you've ever made?
Aligning myself with people that weren't authentic.
That's good, because the next question is, would you do it again?
No.
There we go.
Not.
Bibi, as ever, I haven't stopped smiling since the very beginning of this recording, so thanks very much for being a guest today.
It was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, the same goes for me, Bibi. A pleasure meeting you and talking to you. This has been very fun, and we're actually going to end it here. And I want to sign off by saying that is it for today's episode of the SEO Agency Rollercoaster podcast. Thank you, Bibi the Link Builder of BibiBuzz, for coming on. It has been a pleasure. This whirlwind adventure is brought to you by SEO Ranking, the go-to SEO toolset for over 40,000 digital agencies worldwide. If you are ready to take your agency's SEO game to the next level, be sure to join the SEO Ranking family. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more things SEO, for more insights and laughs. This is Andrew Zarudny alongside Chris Simmons signing off from the SEO Agency Rollercoaster. Stay tuned for more episodes, and remember, in the world of SEO, the ride never truly ends.